Last time on Adventure Adrift, we prepared to set sail to Mexico, getting our Mexican fishing licenses, then wrapping up a few projects. We fixed our windlass switch and then started on reprovisioning, before heading over to the USS Midway aircraft carrier to take in a bit of history and life aboard a big Navy ship. Then we wrapped up our last few projects, fixing our outboard motor and changing our zincs.
Okay, it's all yours. I'm just going to try and sail us forward. See how we do.
The time had finally come to pick up anchor and say goodbye to the US and head for Mexico. There was a nice light breeze, so we decided to practice sailing off the anchor as we left.
Nice. Good job.
Yeah, huh?
That's how you sneak up on people. It's so much quieter.
I know. That worked really good. I didn't think it would work here. Like, sit over it and let, the anchor kind of break itself free.
Let the boat bog it up.
Because I was like, oh, there's not really any swell here. But I think
there's enough. Still, even
well, I think just having the chain almost straight up and down, it just kind of breaks itself free. So we're finally leaving San Diego.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. As the sun began to set over the Pacific, we got out our set of flags that we had picked up at the Marine Consignment Shop in Portland. When you enter a new country, it is customary to fly a yellow quarantine or Q flag until you have cleared into the country with immigration and customs. Though the yellow Q flag is not enforced in Mexico, we decided to raise it anyways. During your entire stay in a foreign country, you must also fly a courtesy flag of the country that you are visiting. So we hoisted both flags just before the sun set, preparing to enter Mexican waters overnight.
We just entered into Mexico this evening. Hillary had first watch. I went to sleep. She's downstairs now, having a good old nap. So passing behind me right now, might be able to see it here in a second if you can't already. It's the Westerdam cruise ship. We actually saw that in port in San Diego 4 or 5 days ago, maybe a week. So I'm guessing it went down, did a Mexico cruise. So this is on our tablet. Look at our open CPN, and it has our AIS on it. So we're the red, they're the green. You can see them passing us. So it tells me who they are. Gives me a bit of information, you can see right there. It says they're the Westerdam. Gives me the reg number and everything. Passenger ship underway, speed over ground, 17.4 knots, and their course. They're 331 degrees. Gives me their Latin long position. So that's our AIS. That's how we keep track of who's around us. It's like 2 a.m. local. Coming to you from Verona, off the coast of Mexico. See you later.
So it's about 5:45 in the morning right now. You can see right back behind me, beautiful sunrise back there. Very calm night last night. We had to motor almost the whole night, so there's just no wind at all. Ty did get to sail a little bit for a couple hours, and then when I came back on about 4 o'clock in the morning, the wind had completely died again. So I had to turn the motor back on, but going nice and slow here so we can wait and do the approach into Ensenada once it's fully light out so we can see everything really well. The sun's almost up, it's almost 6 a.m. and should be in Ensenada in a few hours here. As we neared Ensenada, we put on a local radio station broadcasting mariachi music and lots of Spanish speaking. We were feeling very Mexican inspired and decided to cook up some huevos rancheros, complete with homemade tortillas for breakfast. After motoring all morning, the wind finally picked up right as we approached Ensenada Harbor.
Yeah, I think those white concrete, they're like white concrete height markers, I think.
Yeah.
Depth markers, I think that's the entrance.
Okay. We sailed in behind the breakwater, taking in our new surroundings, and navigated our way to a dock, as there's no anchoring allowed in the harbor. Why do they keep honking? I heard him honking when we were out there. Arriving on the weekend, we had to wait several days to check into the country, as the port captain's office was closed. So we enjoyed some Mexican food and relaxed.
Off to get immigrated finally.
Yeah,
Mexican
do our paperwork.
Holiday yesterday, so
It was Revolution Day yesterday, so we'll check in today finally.
whole weekend here without technically being in Mexico. Now let's go be official.
Yeah. Checking in was very simple and easy. Just a couple of forms, waiting in line, and the port captain fee had to be paid, and in no time we had a stack of paperwork and were officially checked in. Here.
Cool.
A million copies of everything. We're done. Alright,
So we're all checked in.
we're checked in to the country officially.
Officially.
Yeah, the marina pretty much handled everything. We didn't have to do much at all, really. They had a whole big stack of paperwork ready for us, and
So now we're on a mission across town
yeah.
to find a permit for like the national parks, right? The islands.
Yep, to get a permit for all the national parks
Yeah.
and
Guadalupe
permission,
specific.
yeah, permission to visit Guadalupe Island.
Yeah, we need special permission for that because it's protected and all that sort of jazz, right? And I think military too, or not?
It's also military, yeah. Military
So we're gonna
base.
go find that.
Yeah. While in Southern California, we had had such a great time exploring the Channel Islands, and we are excited to visit some of the Mexican Pacific Coast Islands as well. Several of these require a special permit from the National Commission of Natural Protected Areas, or CONAP, and one island in particular requires a written permission letter. With some vague directions and a few wrong turns, we finally found the correct office to help us out. With paperwork from the office in hand, we headed off to pay the fees at a bank.
Okay.
Le soy Julia. Julia. Una más Julia, mijo. Julia y una, ¿cómo se llama?
We also prepared to send in some paperwork requesting to visit Isla Guadalupe, the westernmost point in Mexico, and home to over 100 species of sharks. Scientists consider it to be one of the richest concentration of sharks in the world. Back at the office, with all of our paperwork in hand, we received our permits, valid for 1 year to visit any of the natural protected areas. Will we get an email or just come back and check?
We'll write you that.
Okay. And then once we have that, where does that allow us to go on the island?
Just the marine area.
Just the marine
around.
around. Okay.
So without that, we can't go anchor anywhere around there?
You can anchor in the protected base, like here, and here, but you cannot land. I don't know how far it's from the shore, the protected area, but...
However, to our surprise, we found out that even with all the paperwork and a permission letter, we would not be allowed to go to shore on Guadalupe Island, so we decided it may not be worth the long sail to visit. Finally, done with paperwork, it was time to stock up on some supplies before heading south. So we're just doing some shopping here, picking up some stuff that we're gonna keep on board as we head south. Getting some like school supplies, colored pencils, regular pencils, like coloring and activity books, so some stuff that we can give to some people along the way, hopefully.
Now we've truly begun our journey of sailing around the world, and along the way, while checking out new sites, landscapes and cultures, we'd also like to accomplish something else.
Our goal is to give back to the places that we visit along the way, finding ways to donate our time, funds, or other needed items to the communities that we visit. We want to make this a meaningful journey, connecting with people and communities. For the first leg of our journey, down the Mexican Baja coast, we plan to bring some school supplies to the small villages and communities that we visit.
We look forward to sharing more about this with you guys in the future, as well as ways that you too can get involved.
So we're gonna pack this all back in our backpacks and head back to the Varuna, head out.
Leaving Ensenada.
Leaving Ensenada.
Eggs.
Eggs.
And then the camera bag is filled with pencils and Play-Doh. What you normally put in a camera bag.
Yeah.
Luckily, to help us out, what did we find here?
We found there's Uber in it.
Oh yeah.
We took 2 Uber rides in Ensenada, each costing just over $1. With everything on board, we pulled out of Ensenada Harbor. The weather was a bit unsettled, and the seas were choppy and rolly as soon as we pulled out of the breakwater. We had planned to head out to Todos Santos Islands, just a few miles outside of Ensenada. But with east winds forecasted, there wasn't a safe anchorage there, so we had to continue on. It had been a while since we had been in bigger seas, and we were both feeling a bit seasick. Very tired, we hoped to find a small anchorage just around Punta Banda, which is several miles south of Ensenada. However, with rough seas, lots of kelp, many uncharted rocks, and fish pens known to be in the area, it didn't seem like a very good place to be entering as the light faded quickly after sunset.
Okay. We left Ensenada this afternoon, and we We're going to try and head to Puerto Escondido, I think. Wasn't that far around, but the sun ended up setting on us before we could get there. You know, Hillary made the call, she was on the bow. Didn't feel comfortable, so we pulled out right away and just headed out to sea. It's been a long day. We got up pretty early, went into town, did some shopping for some school supplies and stuff. Other stuff to give to people along the way. In hindsight, probably should have stayed at the marina another night. Would have been for a good night's sleep. Not that there's anything wrong with being out here, but unfortunately we're both sick. Hillary has been unwell pretty much since we left. I've been getting progressively worse. Just seasickness. Some huge swells coming out of Ensenada. Probably like 10-foot swells or more. Not very steep, you know, 15 seconds, 17 seconds. Anyway, right now we're hove to. Just hove to, we're about 8 miles off of Puerto St. Thomas, I think. And we're going to try and get a little bit of shut-eye here. Check in an hour, see where we're at. I've got our mark, seeing how much we drift.
Alright, that's all for this time. Stay tuned next week to see where we end up in Mexico.
Yeah, and thanks very much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, we love it when you give us a thumbs up. And please do leave us a comment down below. We love to read them all.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. See you next time.
Cheers, bye.